All right, welcome back. What I'd like to do now is try to add the concept of liking something, favoriting, bookmarking, whatever we want to call it. I think we'll use likes, make them, let me think. No, I think we'll do bookmarking first, because I want to just do it for a model that we already have. I feel like liking is maybe something more for posts or for comments or that kind of stuff. We'll do the kind of the concept of bookmarking. They'll be very similar. The difference is bookmarking is a little more private. It doesn't necessarily tell you, how many bookmarks something has. It's more meant for your own kind of like management. So we're going to go to the server side and start with that. Let us make a new model. So we'll do it for the venue. Venue bookmark dot spy dot YAML. Okay, so this will be called venue bookmark, and it's going to have some fields. Or first of all, we're going to have a table. We'll call it venue bookmark. That's how we're doing it, right? Let's just look at another one. Let's look at venue as an example. We're making it singular. Then for fields, we're going to need a user. So I think on venue, we can see how we do that. We'll call it owner, like we've been doing everywhere else. So in relation to the user, we're also going to have the venue itself, which will be a venue relation. Now I want to know how we can make these like required fields. It'd be nice if you could. Okay, so we have owner, we have venue, and then maybe we can also have a created at, which I think we just use date time for. Created at. This will be a date time. Okay, cool. So we have this idea of a venue bookmark, which is going to tie basically in a user and a venue together and just add some metadata of a created at time. Okay, cool. So let us just generate that now. Serverpod create migration. I think that's the right term. Create dash migration. So now we have this lovely migration, and then we need to apply it. So we just run our normal this with apply migrations, and this will actually apply it. Awesome. And the server is running. So let's go to our user endpoint. So we have our me. We also, we probably want to have on our user model, our custom user model. Let's get rid of this, get rid of generated, and open up our user model. This is something I haven't done in Serverpod, is kind of having a many-to-many relationship. I want to see how we could do that. Let's see, Serverpod docs. You don't have to be that small. Okay, so let's look at working with models probably. Enums, documentation, generating code, fields, relation. Okay. I'm just gonna Google this then. Serverpod many-to-many through model. Here we go, many-to-many. Okay, enrollments, relation, name equals this. A junction table, this might be what we want. Okay, let's just see this for a second. All right, so I think what we created first, they're calling the junction table. So let's look at our venue bookmark. And we have this, and we have the relation, and we can actually give it a name apparently. So we'll call this stated student enrollment. So we would call this owner. We'll call it owner venue bookmarks, or user venue bookmarks, I guess. Is that, okay, what is it saying? There's no relation with the name of this or class on the class user. Probably because we have to make that still. So let's just follow through this. And for this one, we would do relation venue. And this one we can probably just call venue bookmarks. I think that will work. Okay, so we'll save that one. Then we'll go to our user. And this is kind of like the idea of the student here. So we would then take, they called them course enrollments. Okay, so we'll call it fields venue bookmarks. And this is going to be a list of venue, I guess. And it's going to be a relation. I guess this needs to be like this. And this will be a relation, and we'll give it the name. Name equals user venue bookmarks. Do we do it like that? I think we actually will. Kind of seems weird, but it's like this is the first model, this is the second model, and we're splitting it with this. So let's make that thing here. This would be user venue bookmarks like that. Yes. And then this would actually be venue. We'll come back to that one when we get our venue one working. So similar to this, we're going to go and we'll call it user. I wonder if we need it this, we may not need it in this direction. Although it might be a nice thing to have this relationship going backwards, because we can find all the users. So really this we could call user bookmarks, I think, because we already know it's the venue. And this should be a list of user, and we'll call it venue bookmarks. What do we call it over here? User spy.yaml. So yeah, venue bookmarks. Okay, and this is saying a name relation to another list field is not supported. What? How did this work over here? Okay, you know what? Let's not worry about this right now. Wait. This worked at one point. Okay. Let me just comment this out. Venue bookmark. Yeah, user venue bookmarks. And its name. That part works. There's no name user venue on the class venue. Okay. Let's find our venue. Now what is this saying? There's no name relationship called user bookmarks on the class venue. Yes, there is. May I have to save it first? Oh. Yeah, user bookmarks. On the class venue. Oh. Should this maybe be... Okay. It's not easy. Okay, so they have the junction table. That's basically what we're doing here. Which is, let's just save everything and get the ones open that I care about. Okay, we're going to split all these so that we can see all three. Okay, so this is our user.spy, venue bookmark, and venue. So this is our junction table. So the junction table is supposed to be the name of this. I guess user is fine. And then the name venue bookmarks. Then on this one right here, relationship student enrollments. Relation list of enrollment on the user. This is saying that there's no named relation to that. But there is. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to call everything, call these things. So they have enrollments. They're using enrollments because that's the name of the thing, which is the name of essentially the join table, the through model. All right, I think I figured it out. We had venue here before. It needs to be venue bookmark. And we have the relationship, which goes through this, user venue bookmarks. And same thing here, list of venue bookmarks. Now, so we'll save all that. And that should now give us like a nice relationship. So, do these have to be null? Can't they just be like defaulting to, okay. I think you could have a default empty. But let's try this. Okay, so we have to create a migration again. Now this might totally break everything. Yeah. So, okay, wait, it says no changes detected. I guess because this is just a relation. Yeah, because it maybe isn't. Oh, no, I know. We need to still add the indexes. So on our junction table, we need to have that index. So let's just copy this. And on our junction table, this is separate from fields. Oh, it's actually a new thing called indexes. And we want to call this venue bookmark index. And here we want to use our owner ID and venue ID, I guess. Yep, there we go. So we need those indexes. And then these don't need indexes. Okay, cool. So let's try and run our migration again. And we are going to force, and it's because I think it actually has to delete this table and go again. So yeah, is added to this. If there's an existing row to give as a migration will fail. So there isn't. We haven't made any data yet. So I think we can just force running this now. Great. And now let's start our server by running. Where's our start server thing? There we go. Oh, sorry. We have to go apply migration. So let's hope that that actually works. Looks like it did. And we're running again. Okay, cool. So now we sort of have this relationship. The idea is that now we can look at a user and actually get its venue bookmarks. So let us open up our endpoint of our user endpoint where we get me, because we definitely want to send this back. So we have our include right here, and I believe now we can do bookmarks. Yeah, what else? Oh, sorry, user. What else can we include here? User info. What does our user model have again? Oh, you know what? I think we have to run our generator. We didn't run our generate. Serverpod generate. This will actually generate the code. We generated the database, not the code. And we'll just get our server running again. Venue bookmarks, awesome. So now we should be able to just go venue bookmark dot include list. I guess so. Okay, cool. And then on venues, we don't really care about exposing that data, so that should be fine. Okay, let us make a way to create a bookmark now. By going to our venue endpoint. And let's actually make a new endpoint. Sure, right here. Future. We can return a bool, I guess. And we'll have bookmark session. And we'll require a venue. I guess we just get the venue ID would be enough. So we have an int of venue ID. Oops, we have to name this session. And let's have a let's require a action, which will be of type Boolean. That way we can use bookmark also for unbookmarking. And we can make this a default of true. But if we want to unbookmark, we'll pass in false. Let's actually name this will bookmark. be async. And let's see if we can do this. So first of all, we need to get the user back. Maybe we'll clean this up at some point and get this reusable sort of stuff. So in our user endpoint, we'll get our, we'll have to get our user. This is definitely something I want to make a reusable thing. I'll keep that on my list to do, and we'll refactor at some point. So we definitely want to get our user, and we'll return false if the user is not logged in, and if user equals null, we will also return false. Otherwise, we have access to user, and we should be able to go. So we'll wrap if will bookmark. We will go and await our venue bookmark dot db dot insert row session row and session, and the row we want to insert is actually a venue bookmark where we have an owner ID using basically the user.id. We'll just go like that for a minute, and the venue ID, we'll use that venue ID. User ID could be null. So let's just do if user equals null or user.id equals null, just to keep that safe. And created at we need to do, and that we can just go created at equals datetime.now. So we'll let the server control the datetime of the created at, which makes sense. All right, we should also check. We'll make something called exists, because if it already exists, we aren't going to want to do something. Let's just call it current bookmark. Current bookmark equals, and we'll just use our venue bookmark. Oops. .db dot what is it again? Find first row session. And we essentially want to use a where clause here, and we'll just get our this will be the row where row dot user or owner ID equals user.id. Sorry, that's not how we do this. And how do you do multiple? I think it's just a single and. And row dot venue ID dot equals venue ID. So this might already return one. In the case that this is, so if we're doing is, if we're trying to bookmark and this does not equal null, we need to also, make this asynchronous. We're actually going to go return. We'll just return true, meaning like it kind of worked, like you bookmarked it. Good job. In the case that we have will bookmark equaling false, we want to check if current bookmark does not equal null. Then we actually want to delete that. So how can we delete that? Await venue bookmark dot db dot remove or delete dot delete. Yeah, delete where. And actually, let me just see how what this actually would be. We can probably just actually, now that I think about it. So we want to actually delete it where we want the same sort of where clause. So I'll just grab this whole thing. And I think this will either work or it won't. Meaning we can now actually just move this logic only if, so we check if it exists already. Because we get a database error. We have a unique constraint on this. We'll get a database error if it already exists. Okay, and yeah, so here we would return true. Then what would this be? And I guess we just return true here as well. We just assume it works. And here we can also just return true, because it'll either work or it won't, but either way it's deleted. Okay, great. So now we have the idea of bookmarking something. So let's generate that code because we have a new endpoint. And let us restart the server. Apply migrations we do not need right now, but I just had it in my history and it is safe to run. Okay, so let's just do a quick test here, and we'll just see if it updates the database, and then in the next video we'll actually deal with, the doing it through the UI properly and everything like that. So let us let's go to our venue detail component, and for now I'm just going to maybe put this somewhere temporarily. We have the image. Let's just put a icon button, icons dot favorite, and we'll just use favorite outline for now. And let's just I'm just doing this in not the proper way yet, but we can just get access to our client provider dot what is our it's the venue endpoint dot bookmark. Is that what we called it? Yeah, bookmark. Now we need to just restart our analysis server, because that will it will kind of reread the code and find out what's going on. And when that finishes, we should have our IntelliSense on this again. I think it's still doing stuff. There we go. Bookmark. And here we have to pass in venue.id. Now that could technically be null, so let's actually, we can just wrap this whole icon button in if venue.id does not equal null. And we just won't show it if it is. And now we can go like that. Okay, so let's just see by clicking this button. Let's actually make it a little bit asynchronous. And this is returning true or false, so let's have a final success equals this, and let's just print success, just for fun. Okay, let's go to our debug console. Whoa, what's all this? We need to pass will bookmark? Is this happening? What? Where's these errors happening? Hang on. Oh, did I not set will bookmark equals true? That's strange. I thought we had, can you not do that? What? Okay, let's just make this a required field then. So we'll rerun our generator. Something strange happening there. I think it might just be restarting analysis server, kind of weird stuff. But we'll just make it a required field. And let's restart. And let's restart our analysis server again. And stuff's happening. And we'll do a green arrow. And we should just about be good. Okay, so let's try tapping this little heart button. So it seems like it worked because we got true back. And let's open up our little database. We'll go back to this. Should be a refresh button. So we should see venue bookmark here. And look, we have a venue bookmark. So we have our owner ID, we have our venue ID, all that kind of stuff. That's great. I did want to check one more thing. Let's just go to our access, what would it be? Our auth service? Yeah, auth service. Where are you? Auth service. Okay, we have our current user. I kind of, oh, that's not our current user though. Is it just our user provider? User service provider. Okay, user service is what I was talking about. Me. I want to print this out, and I want to see if we're getting back that stuff, because that would be kind of cool. So let's rebuild this, this will fire in our sort of process. And we see in here venue bookmarks. So I know it might be a little small, but yeah, we have our list of venue bookmarks. So we actually see the ID of it, the owner, the venue ID. That's great. All we really care about is actually this, unless we want to show in the UI like when you bookmark something, which we might. But this will allow us, just comparing this ID will allow us to determine either if the heart should be filled in or it shouldn't, client side. And that's basically what we're going to want to do with that. So I'm going to leave it there. Still more to do here. We'll continue off with bookmarking in the next one with all the UI, but that was kind of cool. And that's actually the first time in Serverpod I've done kind of like a many-to-many relationship with a join table in between. And just to look at that again real quick, All we really had to do is we had our venue, we had our user. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong things. Let me open up the, where are you? Source, endpoint, where? I think I'm just blind right now. Models, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we had our user model. What we added, well, first of all, I guess, we created a venue bookmark model, which is kind of just like the join table between a user and a venue. And we created these relations as well as an index on this to make sure that these are always unique. Because you can't have, I can't like the same thing twice. It doesn't make sense. And then in our user, we had a relationship to our venue bookmark model using that same relationship name here. And in our venue, we had the same kind of idea where we're going to that venue bookmarks. And then in our endpoint, all we simply did in our user endpoint is where we did me, what we're including is actually including not just the user info like we were before, but we're actually including also the venue bookmarks. If we didn't do this, Serverpod's database ORM wouldn't do the join behind the scenes to get that data for us. But luckily we did it and it worked great. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching and see you guys in the next one.